only that you're a socialite to be known this evening as Mrs. White.
Yes, it said so in my letter.
May I introduce you? Mrs. White, this is the maid, Yvette. I see you two know each other.
Oh, we've never met.
Champagne?
I think not.
Please, warm yourself in the lounge.
Why? Do I look cold?
A bit. This way, please.
Oh, hello?
Hello. Glad to meet you.
I'm really glad to meet anyone. More?
Indeed.
Oh, bonjour, madame. Please come in, bonjour.
You must be Mrs. Peacock.
Oh, yes, that's me.
Cook, would you please take Mrs. Peacock's stall? I see you two know each other.
Don't be ridiculous. I've never met this woman before in my life.
Champagne?
Oh, my lips belong to the Lord.
Please, make yourself comfortable in the lounge.
Oh, for your hospitality. And there are a couple of Benjamins hidden under the caramels for you, butler.
How sticky.
I expect to be treated like the wife of
Hold that thought. I'll be with you in a moment.
Oh my! Look at the molding. This is quite a magnificent mansion, isn't it? Oh! Who are you?
Welcome to the party.
This is a bit crowd. Is this the right address to meet a Mr. Martin?
Sit! No, not you, sir. Please come in.
Sorry. Excuse me. This letter has me rather anxious.
You must be Mr. Green.
Yes, that's exactly who I am.
Welcome, sir.
This place isn't at all what I expected.
I find if you expect nothing, you'll hardly ever be disappointed.
Oh, I'm not disappointed.
Good evening.
Please arrive at 7:30 on Saturday evening. Well, here I am.
Professor Plum.
If you say so.
My. And I thought I'd seen everything.
Miss Scarlet, I didn't realize you and the professor were acquainted.
We're not. The bridge got washed out from the rain, and my car broke down, so this professor here offered to give me a ride.
I'm hoping she'll return the favor.
So, I didn't realize we were heading to the same spot until, well, we arrived.
How was your drive, Professor?
It's a long haul.
Indeed, it is a long haul, but then again, it's a very large house. This way, please.
Say, what is this God-forsaken place anyway?
This is Body Manor. Cook, dinner? Very well. Appetizer in the lounge, after you.
Hors d'oeuvres? Good. I'm starving.
Funny, I haven't had much of an appetite at all.
My. This really is a party.
Well, greetings all. It's a pleasure for you to see me. And, cocktail hour.
There's so many of you, I didn't realize...
All right, then, you're all here. Colonel Mustard, present. Mrs. Scarlet, Mrs. White,
Yes.
Professor Plum,
Right.
Mr. Green,
That's me.
and Mrs. Peacock.
How do you do?
Greetings all, I'm Wadsworth, the butler. Tonight, as you may have surmised, none of you are going by your real name. The courtesy your host has kindly provided to ensure your privacy. I suggest you take him up on this offer and refrain from feeling too much about yourselves. You never know when... dinner.
Sorry, a little clumsy.
Dinner? It's more like a cocktail minute.
Mr. Wadsworth, you were saying you never know when what?
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 This way, please. Cook can get rather cranky, we best not keep her waiting. The dining room is right this way. You'll find your name beside your place. Please be seated.
Down here.
This is
Don't
my
touch
seat.
me.
As the wife, I forgot we're not supposed to say who we really are. It's back all day. How lazy.
Not necessarily.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me get that thing.
That will be $5, mister.
Sorry?
Mr. Green, what do you do in Washington?
Oh, I'd rather not say. I prefer to follow the rules.
Well, if I wasn't trying to keep the conversation going, then we would just be sitting here in an embarrassed silence.
Are you afraid of silence, Miss Peacock?
Yes, no. Why?
Well, in my professional opinion, it seems you suffer from something we call pressure of speech.
Is that an official diagnosis?
Are you a doctor, Professor?
In psychological medicine, yes.
Do you practice?
Not anymore. Now I work for the U.S. government.
Oh, another politician.
Not quite. I work for you-know-who.
Who?
A branch of the United Nations organization, World Health Organization.
Oh, you know who. It's an acronym.
I had a sister who was a gymnast.
You are a real colonel, aren't you?
I am.
Aren't you going to mention the coincidence that you also live in Washington, Colonel?
How did you know?
I've seen you before.
So, Miss Scarlett, does this mean you live in Washington as well?
Sure do.
Does anyone here not live in Washington?
Is this about the Red Scare then?
I'm not a communist, I'm a Republican.
Wadsworth, we have had enough of this. Who is our host and what does he want from us?
Speak of the devil, pardon me, please.
I see. The acoustic coupling between the door and the glass allow the sound waves to travel from one side to the other.
The guests have arrived as expected, sir. Everything's going according to plan. We'll meet you in the study. Here.
I'm glad something is.
Seems 6 of you have all received the same letter. It will be to your advantage to be present on this evening because a Mr. Body will bring an end to a certain long-standing, painful, and confidential financial liability.
Yes,
Seems the 6 of you all have one thing in common.
That bastard McCarthy. We're all being blacklisted, aren't we?
Close, Colonel. You're all being blackmailed.
Whoa. Blackmail? Oh, I'm sorry. What's someone going to blackmail me for? I go to church every Sunday.
Yeah, lady, don't we all?
Would anybody else wish to deny it? Until now, you hadn't known who was blackmailing you, but now I'm certain that even the least discerning amongst you has been able to surmise that the man behind your ransom is Mr. Body himself.
Who is this body fella, you brutish butler?
Who Mr. Body is no concern of yours. Suffice it to say, he's a supporter of the House of Un-American Activities Committee, and he's deemed all of your activities distinctly un-American. My duty this evening is to expose your secrets to each other, rendering you all culpable in each other's indiscretions.
But we hardly know each other.
Precisely.
Don't you think you might spare us the humiliation?
I'm afraid I have no choice. We'll start with you, Professor Floyd.
Ooh, this ought to be good.
It says here that you were once a psychologist, specializing in pathological lying lunatics suffering from delusions of grandeur.
Yes, but now I work for the U.S. government.
So your work has not changed. But you can't practice anymore, can you?
Why? What did he do?
You know what male doctors aren't supposed to do with their lady patients?
Yes.
He did.
How awful. There ought to be a reckoning for men like you. I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
You're disgusting.
Are you making moral judgments, Mrs. Peacock?
Well,
How then do you justify taking bribes from certain lobbyists in order to deliver Senator Peacock's vote?
my husband is a paid consultant. There is nothing sinful about that.
Not if it's publicly declared, but if you slip some cash under the stall door at Old Ebbett's Grill, how then would you describe that transaction?
I'd say it stinks.
When were you in that men's room?
So it's true.
No, it's a vicious lie.
Why then have you been paying the blackmailer for over a year now to keep that story out of the papers?
Now, see here.
Now, Miss Peacock, I'm willing to believe you because I too am being blackmailed for something that I didn't do.
So am I.
Not me.
You're not being blackmailed.
Oh, I'm being blackmailed, all right. But I did what I'm being blackmailed for.
What did you do?
I run my own business.
Well, that's not a crime.
You never asked what kind of business I run.
All right. What kind of business do you run?
I provide gentlemen with the company of a young lady.
An escort service? In Washington? How scurrilous.
I'm sure some people just get a little lonely sometimes.
Having to pay a woman to spend time with you? It's a problem I'll never have.
So, Miss Scarlett, is that who you knew Colonel Mustard works in Washington? Was he one of your clients?
Certainly not.
I was asking Miss Scarlett.
Will you tell him it's not true?
It's not true.
Is it true?
No, it's not true.
So it is true.
A double negative.
Double negatives. You mean you have photographs?
That sounds like a confession to me. In fact, this double negative has left the proof positive. I'm afraid you gave yourself away, Colonel.
Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of all the other guests?
You don't need my help with that. It says here that you hold a high security position in the Pentagon. Those negatives would most certainly compromise that position.
And what position were you caught in, Colonel?
This is an outrage.
Let's see who's next. Mrs. White, you've been paying off from the blackmailer for over a year now, ever since the mysterious disappearance of your last husband.
Well, say what you want. I didn't kill him.
Then why were you paying a blackmailer?
I didn't want another scandal, did I?
Another?
We'd had a very humiliating confrontation. He had threatened to kill me in public.
Why would he want to kill you in public?
I think she means that he threatened in public to kill her.
Oh, I was all over the papers.
And yet, he was the one who died. Not you, Mrs. White. Not you.
I found him at home, unclothed. His head had been cut off, and so does... you know. But I didn't do it. I had been out all evening at the movies.
What was showing?
The naked alibi.
Likely story.
But he was your second husband. Your first also disappeared.
That was his job. He was an illusionist.
He never reappeared.
He wasn't a very good illusionist.
And lastly, that brings us to Mr. Green, who
No
is
need to ask me, Wadsworth. I already know what you're going to say about me.
What's that?
Mr. Green, who is a homosexual?
Not me!
I beg your pardon?
You asked who was a homosexual, and I said, not me.
Yes, thank you, Colonel. But there's more to that. There's a question to support the matter of your politics.
My politics? Since when is working for the Republican Party a crime?
You swore an oath of allegiance to the Republican Party, and yet you neglected to vote for Eisenhower in the last election. That's grounds for an ousting if ever there was one.
But voting records are confidential.
Everything has its price, Mr. Green.
So, there you have it.
Have what?
A crooked senator's wife, a lascivious doctor, a disloyal Republican, and so forth. Not exactly adhering to an all-American standard behavior, are you?
Depends on who you ask.
But if this body fellow is such an upstanding citizen himself, then why didn't he turn us into the authorities?
And give up a chance to make a quick buck? Come now, Professor. What could be more American than that?
Apple pie!
All right, Wadsworth. So we're being blackmailed by some renegade McCarthyist. Where does that leave us?
Who is this Mr. Body?
And what does he want from us?
Who cares? I'm not waiting around to find out. I've done nothing wrong. I'm leaving.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Peacock, you can stay in denial, but you cannot leave this house.
I am the wife of a great senator. You can't tell me what to do. Locked?
Indeed, all the doors are locked, the windows are barred, and the grounds are patrolled by vicious dogs. Dogs? There's no way out. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to your host for this evening and your blackmailer for life, Mr. Body.
How do you do?
I thought
Mrs. White in the study with her name.
Thank you. I've studied martial arts.
There is one more piece of information you may like to have.
What?
The police are coming in less than an hour.
police?
Unless you agree to double down.
And why would we agree to do that?
Because if you don't, I'll put this briefcase containing all the evidence needed to expose your wrongdoings in the hands of the police, the press, and the House of Un-American Committee. With the right spin, those fellows can make a commie out of anyone. I believe some of you will face a lifetime of jail, and others a lifetime of shame. Unless. What? Well, there is something you can do for me that would change the game. Something I just can't bear to do myself. What? Have a seat, please.
A dagger?
A revolver?
Oh, no, it's a rope.
In each of your hands, you have a lethal weapon. You all came tonight because you thought the evidence against you was so terrible, you would do anything to keep it a secret. I'm here to put that theory to the test.
You are?
Mr. Wadsworth here is the only other person who has your secrets, and it's costing us dearly to keep him quiet. What do you mean? I wouldn't have to double your payments if I didn't have to pay Mr. Wadsworth here for his silence.
Wadsworth? That's a lie.
He may look suave and charming,
Thank you.
but really, he's conniving and manipulative.
False.
Why do you think he's called the police? You called the police?
Only because he instructed me to do so.
Did I? Ladies and gentlemen, if you can manage to get rid of Mr. Wadsworth, I'll have no need to increase your blackmail or expose you to the police.
Get rid of?
Does he mean kill him?
In fact, if you can eliminate Wadsworth,
Yes, I think that's what he means.
who not only knows all of your secrets, but also mine, I'll eliminate your blackmail altogether and be rid of this terrible business once and for all.
You would never.
Why make us do it, Bonnie? Why not do your dirty work yourself? Why should I, when all of you are so uniquely motivated and armed?
Oh, what a patriot.
I can't believe this. After all I've done for you. He's a liar. I'm one of you. I'm not a butler. I'm an indentured servant.
A familiar refrain. Don't make a scene, Wadsworth. It's over. The police are on their way. Now's your chance. The only way to eliminate your blackmail and avoid finding yourselves on the front pages is to kill Mr. Wadsworth. Now!
Oh, thank God.
Is he breathing?
Stand back! I'm a doctor. He's dead.
Oh, what have you done?
I did.
So you shot him?
I didn't.
If you didn't, who did?
I don't know. The lights went out and somebody grabbed my hand and there was a shot and I don't know.
There's no bullet wound.
He's right, there isn't.
Look, there's a bullet lodged in here.
Eagle Eye with Scarlet? Well, if the bullet's over there, then how did he die over here?
I don't know. I'm not a forensics expert.
Something else must have killed him.
One of us must have killed him.
Oh, I didn't do it.
I didn't drink.
Maybe Mr. Bonnie was poisoned by the brandy.
There, Miss Peacock. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about.
What? Someone had to stop her screaming.
Was the brandy poisoned? How should I know?
Well, looks like now we'll never know.
Unless she dies too.
The screams coming from the billiard room. Yvette? Yvette, are you alright?
No.
Yvette, are you alive?
Constantly like you idiot. No thanks to you, Wadsworth. The purpose of this is Alice and mother. So the murderer is here.
Where?
Well, here I'm looking at him.
What took you so long?
I am an old woman who may or may not have been poisoned. It's incredible I'm everywhere. I heard you honestly studied. One of you is the killer.
How could you hear us in that study?
I was listening. I have a tape recorder in the video room connected to the study. Monsieur Badi, I think to record your conversation.
Why would he ask you to do that?
Don't know everything, of course. What would reveal all your secrets in the study? Now they're all coded.
Snake, I've got to destroy them. Where are the tapes?
Who cares about the tape? What about the body?
What body?
But Yvette, why really were screaming all by yourself?
Because I was frightened. I also drank the cognac. Maybe I am poisoned too. Plus, one of you is the killer. Monsieur Badi is dead.
We have to figure out which one of them did it.
Whoa. What do you mean, which one of them?
Well, it wasn't me.
It was one of you. I would have killed him myself. But I didn't have access to a weapon.
Well, don't look at me. All I had was a candlestick.
Maybe it wasn't one of us.
Who else could it have been?
Who else is in the house?
Only the cook.
As far as I can tell, the cook's not here.
What a lovely kitchen. My husband and I had one very similar to this in our first brownstone. It has such a homey feel.
Someone must have killed her.
Do it.
That makes two.
To what?
Murders.
I think you have some explaining to do, Wadsworth.
Me?
Well, who else would want to kill the cook?
Yeah, I mean, dinner wasn't that bad.
How could you make jokes at a time like this?
It's my defense mechanism.
Some defense! If I was the killer, I would have killed you next. I said, if I was the killer, and there's only one admitted killer here, and it's not me. It's Miss White!
I have admitted nothing.
You paid the blackmailer. How many husbands have you had?
Mine or other women?
Yours!
5!
5!
Yes, just 5. Men should be like Kleenex. Soft, strong, and disposable.
Well, if it wasn't you, then who was it? Who had the dagger?
It was Miss Peacock's!
Yes, but I dropped it.
Where?
On the way to the billiard room. Any one of us could have picked it up.
I certainly didn't.
I did.
Well, then it must have been Mr. Green.
Somebody please help me out.
Good Lord, let him up.
really ought to learn to speak up for yourself a little better, Mr. Green.
Oh God! Oh God!
Gentlemen, might I suggest we take the cook's body into the study?
Why?
Well, for starters, when the police arrive, they find this. We'll all be taken into custody and suspicious for murder.
Murder?
Secondly, I'm the butler. I like to keep the kitchen tidy.
The body's gone!
What are you all staring at?
Nobody!
What do you mean?
Nobody. There's no body. Mr. Body's body, it's gone.
Maybe he wasn't really dead.
He was!
Well, we should have made sure.
I thought I had! Maybe somebody moved him.
Who would move him?
And why?
Well, if he's not here, where is he?
Oh my, all this excitement. If you'll excuse me. Is there a little girl's room?
Oui, madame.
Oh, no. I just want to powder my nose.
Oh, c'est pour la size.
I don't mean to alarm anybody, but we do currently have a small issue of 2 dead bodies. One missing, one present. And the imminent arrival of the police.
The bridge is washed out from the rain. That should buy us some extra time. But I don't want extra time. I would see police too. I collapsed in this house was a murder.
But once the police arrive, the rest of us are doomed.
Wadsworth, am I right in thinking that we are the only people in this house?
No.
So then there is someone else in this house.
Sorry, I said no, meaning yes.
No, meaning yes.
Yes.
Look, I want a straight answer. Don't look at me. Are we the only people in this house? Yes or no?
No.
No, there is or no, there isn't?
Yes.
There seems to be some confusion over whether or not we are the only people in this house.
There isn't.
There isn't any confusion or anyone else in this house.
Either. Both.
Just give me a clear answer.
Certainly. What was the question?
Are we the only people in this? Is there anyone else in this house? Yes or no?
No!
Well, that's what he says, but what does he know?
All right. Look, there's a killer on the loose. The missing dead body of Mr. Body. A cook with a dagger in her back and easily accessible murder weapons. The wrench, the candlestick, the revolver, the rope, and the... Where's the lead pipe?
He's attacking her!
Oh God, he's so bloody.
Stand back!
He's dead.
That's what you said the last time.
I believe in second chances.
Mr. Body dead. Again?
I'm gonna faint.
I'll catch you. Sorry.
Mrs. Peacock. Yeah. Where did this happen?
In the bathroom. At first, I thought he was attacking me. But then I saw that he had been left propped up against the door, just dead. Just waiting to fall on someone.
Who would do such a thing?
It takes a lot of guts to kill someone twice.
Yeah, that's what we call overkill.
But why?
What's the difference?
Well, it makes a difference to him.
Makes a difference to us. We've got to find out who killed Mr. Body, where, and with what.
You know, Butler, it was probably the lead pipe.
10 points, Professor Plum.
What kind of game are you playing?
This isn't a game.
You had the lead pipe.
I dropped it while we were running to the kitchen.
People don't just drop murder weapons.
Well, I didn't know it was a murder weapon when I dropped it.
So any one of us could have picked it up.
Yes, of course, but who did? Who did pick it up? Who picked up a lead pipe and brutally murdered Mr. Body, leaving him dead and bloody in the bathroom? Who did that? Who?
All right, cool it, Butler. While you're over here losing your marbles, I'm trying to do something useful. Are you all forgetting about the evidence against us?
Yes!
Body's briefcase is locked.
Well, there has to be a key.
Mr. Green, would you be so kind as to check Mr. Body's pockets for a key to the briefcase containing all the evidence against us so we don't have to destroy once for all?
But why me?
Why not?
Well, all right.
Where did you get that?
I don't like germs.
Or fingerprints?
No, just germs.
Oh God, it's so warm. Ugh. Oh, here it is.
Give it. It's empty.
Empty? I told you Bonnie was a liar. Had the evidence in this briefcase, my foot.
We must find that
And
evidence.
destroy it.
Evidence against us aside, we are in a room with 2 dead bodies. I suggest we move them to the couch so they look less dead.
Some party this is turning out to be.
Oh, well, all right.
Be careful, don't get any guts on the ground.
Solid battlefield technique, Professor Plum. Never leave a man behind.
Cadavers are heavier than they seem, aren't they?
I wouldn't know.
Right, me neither.
Oopsie daisy.
Let's just prop her up like
Aren't you all strong and virile?